I've been working on this world building project for a couple years now. I don't know how to get into this video. I'm not really sure how to start it. It's going to be sort of a retrospective of everything that happened this year with my art, but it feels so significant and so strange. I don't really know how to just get into it. I've had the most productive year I've ever had in my life, and it started with me feeling like I wanted to quit. 1 year ago, I was not drawing at all. I had spent about 6 months avoiding art. I had some other earth-shattering life changes happen last year, and I was not drawing at all. I had gotten so tired of the crippling anxiety and fear I would feel when I'd go to draw. I hated it. I resented the idea of drawing, and eventually I began to I didn't want to be an artist anymore. Someone suggested reading The Artist Way. That was one of the most life-changing books I could ever recommend. One of the exercises she suggests doing is what she calls the morning pages, which is basically 3 pages stream of consciousness every single morning, which is a practice in overcoming this inner critic and inner judgment. And that is how I got back into drawing. I take my sketchbook and I go out to a park. This starts to get things moving a bit. It was fun to go to the park. It was fun to draw. This is where my obsession begins. I go to another park, and afterwards I go to a Barnes & Noble, I get a coffee, I sit down, and I just try to draw this place from memory. I start drawing in about 5 different sketchbooks. I have this pencil sketchbook, personal journal, the morning pages, life drawing journal. I started this other journal, basically stream of consciousness drawing, where I just draw from memory or imagination, and I never look back on it. That was one of the rules for the morning pages. You don't look back for at least 3 months. So you do a drawing, you turn the page, and you just forget about it. It trains you to not criticize it. Instead, the focus is on the act of drawing itself. This made me enjoy drawing so much. It basically completely removed the inner critic. I start watching this course about this sort of abstract technique, and I start drawing all of these birds and rabbits and animals. And it was like this perfect practice to start feeling free. I just bring my sketchbooks everywhere I go with me during the month of February. I went to life drawing classes. Anytime I had downtime at work, I was drawing at work. And it was about halfway through February that I started doing my world building drawings again. That's when I did the kids on the dock and Leonard Norman in the woods with the rabbit. I go back to Greenwood and I do another drawing. This time I sit there in the park and I actually draw from life. This drawing gave me a lot of ideas. And in the month of March, I believe I did sort of like my tree monster drawing and also the disappearing Nouveau house. One thing that happened in March, I started to sit and dream. And see what would come up in my head, what images. I would just try to follow them and hold on to them. It started to build this confidence in this weird dream world. When you give a little respect to your imagination and start to jot down some of the ideas that come up, you start to treat your own brain with more significance. And then it really starts to reward you. And that's what I was finding in the month of March. I'm just drawing everywhere. I'm just getting totally lost in my own little worlds, and I had built up this confidence of writing from all the morning pages, so I started writing stories. I had never really written things before. I had always wanted to write, but I had never really gotten into it, and then the morning pages, I was doing it every single morning, so it just started to feel like something that I did. They weren't well written or anything, but the ideas were there. This is when I started treating Figure 8 like an official project. I actually gave it a name for the first time. And for some reason, when you name something, you've given it permission to take on a life of its own. I could talk about it. I decided to make this quick little YouTube video on the sketches I had done so far. I think I'm gonna make a book. And it didn't do well at first. But then it sort of took off. Then everything started to feel real. Like it was a real project, that I was a real artist, that I could It was just very exciting. Within 2 or 3 weeks, I had my second video out. This is when things started to get a little strange. During this time, I also built a website, I launched a Patreon, and I was getting a lot of views and feeling really good about the whole thing. Also in the Sleepwalker video, for the first time really ever, I tell a story. I don't think I do a particularly wonderful job of it, but I tell this story of some of these ideas that I've had. I felt like I really overcame this deep fear of what people would think. I told a sort of a strange story. At least to me, it seemed like a really strange story. And people were supportive of it, which really surprised me. I was expecting a little bit more hate or a little bit more people getting offended. And I got a little bit of that, but it made me proud to put out my weird ideas. You can make fun of me all you want, but at least I'm putting ideas out there. So I started to build confidence in sharing my ideas, which I think was really important. This is when things start to take a bit of a turn, because it almost feels predictable, but because of all the attention the YouTube videos were getting on my art, I start to feel this pressure build up of needing to do better art and tell better stories. And so I start to build up that inner criticism again. And I really start to go crazy during this period of time. I also start obsessing about the video side of it, the lighting, the cameras, the audio. I want the video itself to be much better. It was a weird mix of being super ambitious, but also having a lot of pressure on it. I'm completely lost in the story that I'm writing for the Siren piece. And I just lose it. I remember I would go on these runs and I would just be playing, like I built a whole playlist for this story. I would just listen to this and it's like I was there, I could feel it. It was so real. And I would get sad. I would get emotional about this story that I'm creating. And so much so that I'm not sleeping right, I'm not eating, I'm not taking care of myself at all. I start to have fevers. Like I think I got probably 4 or 5 different fevers that lasted days during the month of July. So I finally get to the point where I can put out my Siren video. After that, I just have to take a break. I just had to get away. So I go on a little overnight vacation to this cabin. I do some drawings there as sort of a halfway research for my next drawing. So I didn't totally give it up, but it was just a bit of a mental break from everything. I start my next piece and I start doing a little bit of research. Things start to pick up again. I'm just kind of doing some studies, working on my drawings. I also start doing a little bit more plein air drawing again. And those plein air drawings feed directly back into my world building drawings. I'm doing a lot of studies for my next drawing. I make the 50 thumbnails world building video. The month of October was more of a time of reflecting on what I had done. I wanted to start wrapping my head around the whole project, where it started and where it's going. For some reason, well, I kind of know the reason, but I feel stopped like I did last year. I feel like I've gone in a complete circle. I felt so empty last year in December, and I'm feeling that emptiness again. And it's like no matter what I did this year, I couldn't escape it. It came back. I feel like I've come completely full circle and all of my art has come to a screeching halt and it feels over again, which makes me kind of think and feel that it's like it wasn't me the whole time. When we attribute art and creativity and imagination to ourselves, I don't know if that's accurate. It's like whatever visited me this year left again, and with it has taken everything. My hope is that going back and looking at this whole year will remind me of some of the things that really helped me get back into art. I think I just needed to remember some of the things that I did.